Hello. Whoa. Hello. Hello. What? Holy crap. Hello. Alright, there we go. So the topic for today is meaning. Do you feel like your life lacks meaning? Do you feel like you lack purpose in your life? Why? As a guy, is it that you don't get the girls? That you don't have the money? That you don't have the job that you like? That you don't feel like you can be yourself? Is it that you feel like the world is a bad place and nothing matters? Is it that you hate the other people around you? Because the truth is, we all strive for meaning in our lives. Some of us do horrible things to achieve that meaning, to achieve something meaningful. I mean, you've all heard someone say, well, people commit atrocities in the name of religion. How can they be so brainwashed? Or, I mean, they can commit the atrocities for any reason. But what it all boils down to is their life meaningful enough? Well, no. What would it matter if I do this? Because I will get a meaningful life. I'll be happy. I will be happy. I will achieve what I wish. Whether you've been brainwashed or not, that is something we yearn for. We yearn to make our lives meaningful, and we do that in numbers of ways. Like for instance, most men would be happy with having money, a stable a stable and high income of money that is reliable long term, and also get sex frequently. Now, a lot of men also want love. Now, that is something you cannot expect. But we all yearn for that meaning. So, how come we're all so lost? How come the world is so bad? If we all strive for meaning, shouldn't we be cooperating and trying to help each other find that meaning? I think most people don't understand what meaning really is or what gives life meaning. Some say, oh no, I'll just do what I feel like at the moment and that will make life meaningful. Generally speaking, that really isn't the case. You can end up doing something horrible and your life can feel meaningless. You can feel like a horrible human being. You can feel like you've lost all the meaning that your life previously had. But let's go in the different topics one by one. If love is what would make your life meaningful, well then that is something we need to work on. Now there are different types of love, of course, but let's just focus on the one main love, the main romantic love between a man and a woman. There's something I think that many may have realized that in modern society, that is something that is being crushed, really shattered into pieces. It is shattered because of there are so many reasons for it, so it's too much to go through in this video. But everyone knows that or most people know that it's getting worse, which with the divorce rates when it comes to marriage, with how people cheat on each other, how people betray each other, how people take each other for granted, how people are afraid to truly be themselves, how they will do things simply due to peer pressure. And now you may say, well, they did that in the past too. That pressured them to, stay in the like one family and just, never like step out of a line because they get into trouble. Well, that was positive. But if someone pressures you into taking drugs or betraying someone else or doing horrible things, that isn't positive. Now, I myself, I think that your individuality should matter and you should have the choice when it comes to what you want to do with your life overall. So I don't think you should be pressured, but I don't think anyone should fall to that peer pressure regardless. Do not act like sheep, because acting like sheep will not make your life meaningful. If you act like sheep and follow others blindly, end up in a life that you hate, that is on you. You've taken the easy road. But yeah, what do we need to do then with love? Well, we need to cooperate more. Men and women need to cooperate. We need to have the same goals. We need to work together like we did in the past. We need to accept and understand each other's differences and not completely hate each other for it. I mean, how it works in modern society now, there are so many women who think, well, some of them call themselves feminists, who think, oh, men are so horrible and men have privileges and such, which they do not at all. And then men who read up on female nature and see these patterns, they become disgusted when they feel like they cannot accomplish love, that they cannot achieve, that they cannot find a partner that would truly love them in the same way that they would love their partner. What would you even do with that? That is something that is devastating for men. But it's also one of the differences we need to accept. There are many of these feminazis and also many MGTOWs. How do we work against that? Well, like I said, we need to see and accept each other for who we are. For and if you're a woman, I'll accept you for your biological needs and how you are biologically programmed, then you would have to accept me, and we would try to make it work. Like, not you and me personally, but you catch my drift. Because if men and women cooperate, we will achieve many more great things. You know that men do their are on the absolute peak when they truly have a woman backing them up. There's nothing that can make a man feel as great as a woman can, but there's also nothing that can make a man feel as bad and as useless as a woman can. Now, to be honest, we are kind of useless on our own. Now, there are plenty of arguments to be made from both sides, but in the end, like that would be wrong for me to say. I would probably get both the feminazis and the MGTOWs against me on this. But we need each other to make things go around and to make life more meaningful. So that's the love part. We need to cooperate, appreciate each other, and accept each other's differences, and try to find ways to move forward, even through those differences. And the second part is individuality. If you can truly be yourself, you'll find life to be a bit more meaningful. But simply being yourself might not net you that value. So let's say you have this knowledge and that you try to take on every perspective that you can, that you can try to learn everything that you can and become the best version of yourself that you can be. If no one else accepts you, if no one else sees you, then it might feel like it's all for naught. If you're not getting anywhere, if you're not getting any love, if you're not getting any success, which also brings me into the money aspect. You need you need money, you need success, you need to be able to live to make your life meaningful. So we're a flock animal. We need we need the group. but we should also be able to be ourselves. So we need to find a balance there to not toss away our individuality, because the individuality is what is beautiful. How do you create love with a different person if you do not have individuality? Is it really love then? To me, it would say because I see humans as civilized beings rather than just beasts, or I that's how I want to view it. Some may argue from the viewpoint of the beast, but that's not where I want to argue from. And oh no, we will just follow our bestial urges. No, I believe in the civilized idea of individuality, that each individual should be themselves and strive to be the best that they can be, and that you shouldn't just change to please others. I mean, like I said, you should improve yourself, but still remain yourself. Remain true to who you are. That way, your life will be much more meaningful, and you won't feel like you've regretted just following others blindly for your entire life and never being yourself. Because many people who die of old age panic in the end while feeling such things. So that is not how you would want to end your life. Don't be afraid to tell people who you are, to show people who you really are. Because you gotta scare away some assholes. You gotta scare away some idiots if you want to make real friends. And that brings me to the flock thing. We can still be in the flock, in the group, and to have our some rules within the groups that might limit us somewhat, but in that case we should have good groups that help us become better versions of ourselves. I'm I just wish to make the world a better place. That's why I'm making this stream right now. Right, what else? So you may hate mankind and the world, but what more reasons to hate mankind and the world are there beyond the ones I've mentioned? So the lack of love makes you frustrated. The lack of individuality makes you frustrated. The lack of money, feeling like the world is unfair towards you, makes you frustrated. It is something that you hate. It's something that you would hate mankind for. Then you see evil people abusing others, stealing from them, using them. And that is something that you may hate. You see how the world is just getting worse and worse. Well, if we solve the first steps, we'll solve that too. Because those first steps are pretty huge. If men and women cooperate, that is a really huge step. That is true progress. And it's not hard to figure out how we would cooperate the best. We have history to show for that. Now, individuality itself, if we accept that, because so many times in the past, this is something that we've had troubles with in the past and still now. People are afraid of change. Now, I personally am afraid of change. I don't like change. I like the nostalgic feeling and the feeling of security around me, of things remaining the same, of the positive things remaining the same, that is. But so many people have been scared of new innovations that have actually brought us forward, like the lamps, refrigerators, and so forth. Electricity, the telescope. There are so many things we've learned, so many things that have brought us forward that were seen as, oh no, this is horrible, this can't happen, oh, this will lead to mass doom, mass death, and it will eradicate mankind, and we can't let that happen. Individuality. If we let people be their individual selves and try to encourage people to be the best they can be and accept those differences. We might not like each other for our differences. I mean, I may hate you for who you are, you may hate me for who I am, but I can still accept that, oh, you are you, that's fine. We'll stay out of each other's ways, whatever. Or we'll find a solution to that problem. I think that would solve a lot of the problems when it comes to the hatred for mankind. So, what can you do to achieve your meaning right now? What can you start by doing? Well, you can try to broaden your views, listen to people, talk to people that you don't normally talk to. Ask yourself, you can also ask yourself, are you really being yourself? Are you trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes and try to understand what they're going through? Like if you're a girl or if you're a man, try to put yourself in the shoes of the opposite gender. Maybe it's a girlfriend, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's, I don't know, just some random. But it is important to have understanding. Understanding brings us very, very far. That's it for the first part of the video anyways. Thanks for tuning in. I'm not sure if I missed anything, but feel free to point it out if I did. Thank you guys for tuning in, and like and subscribe if you liked it. Cheers. And also, just ask in the comments if there's anything that is even the slightest bit unclear. Because my goal is simply to make the world a better, more beautiful, and more meaningful place to live in. That's it for me. Clown out.